Pingoy. Edison, nakausap ko kanina si Mr. Richard at sabi niya ang gate attendance ay tumas daw ng 60%. Tama ba to?
Yeah, 60% compared to the 1981 reinforced call Filipino.
What does this mean? Why the sudden change or why the dramatic increase in gate attendance?
Well, I think the new format that we have introduced this year for the reinforced, the divisional format has given a lot of enthusiasm among our fans.
Plus the fact that the best of 5 series between Toyota and Crystal went to the full limit, and now we're going to the 7th game and final encounter between San Miguel and Toyota.
Yeah, we hit 2 birds. First in the semifinals between Toyota and Crystal, we went up to 5 games, and now Toyota San Miguel, we had 7 games.
How about the attendance in the viewership? Did you know that?
Viewership, I think the TV rate has gone up a lot.
Masasaya tayo lahat kung gano'n.
Yeah.
That was Edison Letizo's Pingoy. Thank you very much. Back to you now. At the start of the second quarter, we have the fouls on Tuadlos at 2 and Mon Fernandez likewise. Black has 1, Paner, Miguel Bean, and Rabanes. Okay, look at those shooting stats, and that's been indicative of the entire series. San Miguel shooting much lower than Toyota and taking less shots. Usually San Miguel takes more shots than Toyota. Even though they shoot poorer from the field, San Miguel is able to win ball games by minimizing their turnovers, getting the offensive rebounds. If Toyota continues to shoot that way, 61%, San Miguel is going to have to put up a very, very strong defense. They cannot afford to give Toyota the outside shots. From the early going, we can see that the Corollas are hot. They've been hitting their outside jump shots. Ronnie Ray Kuntz, he's hit 2 shots from the outside. He's got 4 points. Now Norman Black, on the other hand, Black only has 7 points. Toyota has to be happy with the defense put up on Norman Black. 7 points is way below his quarterly average. Score at the start of the second quarter. Toyota Super Corollas at top by 3 points. It's 28-25. Manny Paner staying like a leech, keeping an eye on Coons. Norman Black covering in that, pulling it down. You know, things in most of the games in this series, the scores have been under the 100-point barrier. I think tonight we'll see the scores about 105, 110. Both teams look determined on offense, and the shooting percentages look to be pretty hot. Abe King was going to make it tough for Norman Black, but in so doing, collected his first personal foul. We will not be mentioning the time for a while. They're still adjusting it. Something went wrong with the clock, so don't be surprised if we don't mention the time to you as we go along. It is not on. The clock you're following right now is on the official's desk, that's all. And they'll probably announce it every now and then. 9 point ready for Norman Black. Well, Abe King, he's done a very good job at keeping out of foul trouble. Let's see what happens tonight. Maybe Norman Black has a couple of ideas of his own. Maybe he's going to try to tempt Abe King into blocking some of his shots. But in the meantime, King might pick up some personal fouls. Here's Mon Fernandez making it, hitting from 16 feet, left side. The minute he got the loose ball, fired very quickly before Miguel Bean can come a little bit close to him. Court man, Rabanes. Rabanes on a drive. And a nice towers over. Look at the road runner. He loses control. His intention there was to go on a cross pass to Tuadlos, but Martinez had it covered, and Norman Black was right beside him. Lapse of concentration. It's 30 for Toyota, 27 for San Miguel Beer. Here's the old warrior. And Abe King pulls it down for Toyota. Safety to Mon Fernandez. Miguel Bean staying close to him. Mon zigzagging. Coons trying to get a feel for it. Big drive by Mon. Fade out by Coons. 3-2 shot. Well, you know, Mon Fernandez really created that play. He started to drive to the basket. He felt some pressure from just Miguel Bean, so he dished the ball off. Mon Fernandez, he could play guard if he wants to. forced by Norman Black. 10 minutes left in the second quarter. And Miguel Bin, fouled by Mon Fernandez. Actually, Rabanes could have gone up for that already, but we saw Miguel Bin free for a moment and passed it on to him. He had no chance to go for the basket, but a better thing for San Miguel Beer. Mon Fernandez got his third foul. And Edo Campo, not taking any further risks, pulls out Mon Fernandez, and we have Saldana in the game for the first time. Norman Black, nice and easy.
You know, that's something Abe King was doing very successfully in game number 6. He was trying to deny the basketball from Norman Black. But now Norman is really going to be aggressive. He's going to jump into the pass rather than give a chance for Abe King to block the ball away.
Rodless almost lost it. Gives it to King. Offline. On that offensive play, what San Miguel was doing very well was a sag on the defense. You notice, Steve, Toyota had to fire from the outside. They had no access for space inside. And this is what San Miguel Beer has been doing very well, sustaining it, despite the fact that they're down by 3 points. Here is the running game. The presence of Roman Black intimidated Francis Hernandez there. Somehow, somebody there at 6'5", and you're about to make a drive. It's got to disturb you one way or another. San Miguel down by 3. Norman Black now making a pivot.
You know, in game numbers 5 and 6, the San Miguel plays were not really centered around Norman Black. The locals were picking up a lot of the action. But tonight it looks like they're really going to try to force that ball into Norman Black. They know it's game number 7, and they know Black is their man.
Miguel Bill getting a second personal foul. Wadless not making it from the outside. Wadless has 2 fouls, 1 on Abu King. Miguel Bill has 2. 1 on Black, Paner, and Ravanes. A 1-point difference. Inside pass going to Norman Black, a little bit too strong. No foul call on that one, but Norman Black aiming for contact. Saldana on that rebound play, and that's the second personal foul of Norman Black. 32-31. Toyota up by a point, just a single point. They're in possession. Ani Panera trying to stay glued to Norman Black. Creates a turnover, really pressing him. And palming called against Coons.
You know, right now you can see Abe King and Norman Black are really going at it. They're talking to each other. They're trying to intimidate each other. This is a fierce and fiery battle between these 2 strong men.
Norman Black really firing straight on his nifty jump shot. So far he's made 15 points. 7 in the first quarter and 8 on the second quarter. Abe King making it, firing from 18 feet. Good hit.
Well, Abe King, if he hits from the outside, Norman Black cannot go to help out. If Abe King is missing, Norman Black can go help out with the other players.
7.5 minutes left. Second quarter. Foul called against San Miguel Beer. Edis Panel guilty of that one. It's a second personal foul. And on team fouls, we have 3 called against San Miguel and 2 only against Toyota. Toyota still on top by a point. 34-33. Norman Black telling King to take it. Almost had it. Sambalia's right there. Back from behind by Manny Paner. Good timing by Manny Paner. Forward play stolen by Arnaiz, but he was already over the line. He anticipated the pass.
You know, King, my eyes are just glued to this confrontation between Abe King and Norman Black. And, you know, you got to give Abe King a lot of credit because Norman's a lot bigger than he is, and Norman's a much better offensive player. But it's just something, it's just a professional, something that happens in a professional series, game number 7, and both these guys are true competitors.
We have a timeout being asked by Edo Campo.
Team in the game. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, Atty. Salot.
Gagawin po.
Bihira po namin kayo makita sa Araneta. Siguro po napakaganda rin ang game na ito para mapanood ninyo.
Well, yes, of course. This is a special game. But not only that, in the absence of the commissioner, and who's now in Madrid, and because of the untimely death of our secretary, Tito Castro, I come over just to be able to do anything that needs to be done, you know, just in case.
Well, that was very nicely said, Tony Salud, and thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Bingoy, thank you. Score at the moment is 34 for Toyota, 33 for San Miguel Beer. We have a substitution. We have Lobo back in the game for San Miguel Beer. During halftime, when Steve Catan talks to you on Inside Basketball, remember last time we were out together, he mentioned and described to you the dot sheet. Norman Black taking a hit already on his 17th point. And on tonight, he'll go through the actual interpretation on the dot sheet, the location sheet, exactly what it meant on this particular 7th and last championship game. So stay with it. Back door.
Yes, Bingoy. Beside me now, I have a statistician keeping a dot sheet on this particular game where Toyota's been taking and making their shots, and San Miguel as well. And during halftime, we'll analyze that sheet, and we'll see how these two teams play.
Good guarding by Abby King. He was fronting Norman Black, anticipated the pass, and Ravanes saw that Abby King was going to go back. And Arnaiz making the first rainbow tonight. 3 points for Arnaiz.
So, you know, so far Toyota has made 14 three-point shots during the series, and San Miguel, they've only made 6. Toyota, a much better three-point shooting team.
San Miguel Beer down by 4 points. Lobo losing the rebound, going to Quadless. Crossover now to Arnaiz, but Lobo is there. Close out, can't find any space there. Now Martinez checks in. Lobo's watching Coons. Abe King firing from 18, making it.
That's one thing that Abe King has shown us throughout the series, that if he is given the outside shot, he will take it, and more often than not, he will make it.
Miguel Beer making a base drive. No foul on Saldana. Coons, left flank. Abe King. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Coons now trying to cover Norman Black. King is not there. He's on the other side. And gets the hit from the baseline.
You know, looking at the San Miguel team, just Miguel Bean has been the big mystery for the San Miguel ball club. He's usually relied upon for 10 or 12 points a ball game. But during the series, Pingo, I think he's only averaging about 5 points.
That's right. Quick retaliation here by Coons. Still protecting the lead. Increased a little bit at 43, 6 points. 37 is San Miguel. With 14 seconds on the shot clock. They go to Norman Black. Quadless is down. Pulling it for Toyota. On team fouls, 3 against San Miguel. Arnaiz in the rainbow, short this time. And the eagerness of Saldana comes into contact on Norman Black. That'll be the first foul. A 2-man substitution being applied by Coach W. Manotas. The Mighty Might is back in action. Saldana is there together with La Lota, seeing action for the first time. Arnaiz is rested by Edo Campo. This place with Legaspi back.
I think, you know, Saldana is back in the game. I think Campo wanted to give him a couple of minutes on the bench to get a feel of the basketball game. And also, he needs Marty Saldana in there to stop the fast break of the Super Corollas.
Here's La Lota. He bubbles on that one, actually, before he could take off. He was fouled by Saldana, but in spite of that, the experience of La Lota still went up in the air. And he'll get 2 free throws. Alex Tan about to come in, yes? Rabanes walks out. We have less than 4 minutes. We can't keep on mentioning the time to you because the clock is out of order, so being repaired. We're relying on Speak Salita, and the minute he says it, we'll mention it right at once.
Right now, Emmer Legaspi has a lot of weight on his shoulders. He's the only guard in the ball game. Lorenzo is not seeing any playing time. Emmer has to control the team. He has to stay back on defense. Let's see if he can come through.
Play broken up by the Mighty Mike Saldana. First quarter ended with Toyota on top by 3 points, 28-25. Nick Bulaon proving to be the inspirational difference. Checks in, and Saldana takes a rest. Wadless. Oh, very straight up.
Well, frankly, I don't think that Alex Tan has 2 inches in the height department, and Arnie is much stronger built. I don't know if Alex Pan can stay with Arnie.
Inside to Norman Black. Norman cutting down the lead of Toyota to 5, 45-40. Coons to King. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter of play. Quadless in the corner. Good shot. No cutter, so he fired. Stretching the lead to 7 points.
You know, what a difference between Arnie Quadless in the eliminations and now in the playoff series.
And Mikey Mike Saldana losing control for a turnover. Trust. Let's go very quickly to our man on the ball, June Bernardino, who is with the imports of Eco Tanduay. June?
Yes, Bingo. Well, right now I'm beside Curtis Berry, the import of the Eco Tanduay for the next conference. I mean the Open Conference. Hello there, Curtis. How are you doing? Fine, and how are you doing? Oh, pretty good. Some exciting basketball here tonight. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I'm sure this is a very exciting match, and I'm sure our fans over at home would like to know your thoughts on who is the better team between these two fine ball clubs. Curtis? Well, I think you got basically two different types of ball clubs. You've got San Miguel, which is more of a team-oriented type of players, and you've got Toyota, which does a lot of one-on-one and a lot of freelance type of play. San Miguel has been playing very well as a team, as opposed to Toyota. You've got the contrasting styles, but you've got a good war going on here. In other words, who do you think will win, Curtis? Toyota's got the momentum right now, but I think San Miguel is going to come back, and it'll be a good ball game. He doesn't want to commit, fans. Thank you very much, Curtis. Back to Pingo and Steve now.
2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second quarter. We have a 7-pointer being enjoyed by Toyota. Here's Abe King. It's crowded. Quadless. Norman Black pulling it down.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, Pingoy, but I don't believe Toyota has gone to the free throw line yet.
Come to think of it, you're absolutely right, Steve.
On the other hand, San Miguel, they've been going to the line, and they've scored about 6 or 7 points from that lane so far.
Well, possible reason here is that San Miguel has been driving. They're very close to the basket, while Toyota has to make it from the outside. If you notice, the defense has been very tight on San Miguel, and they've been sagging very quickly. Now, the question is, Steve, how long can Toyota sustain its firepower outside?
That's definitely a true point, Pingoy, because if their outside shooting goes awry, San Miguel's defense is going to hold on the inside.
And yet, on the San Miguel Beer part, it's only Coons that has been contributing points for his team during the second quarter, aside from a free throw coming from La Lota. What is the score so far of Norman Black?
Well, Norman Black has 14 points in this second quarter, and as you said, La Lota contributing the only other point for the San Miguel team.
And Quadless doing a board hit. This is the biggest lead so far of Toyota. It's 9 points, 49-40, a minute and 40 seconds, second quarter.
You know, you have to, San Miguel, even though they're down by 9 points, they have to be pretty happy because Toyota is playing such good defense. And San Miguel is not being flustered by it. They're still going with their game patterns. They're still moving the ball around well.
Here's La Lota, who should be inside, assisting Norman Black in the low post. But he elects to stay outside. Well, they continue to concentrate on Norman Black, and he is delivering. I'm beginning to wonder what happened to the long thumbs of Miguel Bin, who's in the bench right now, and Lobo. Lobo so far has fired 7 points, but all on the first quarter of play. And Black, no count since the referee fouled before he could go up. It's Abe King getting his second personal foul. Penalty situation in Toyota, so Norman goes to the stripe.
Well, I think that's one area where Abe King has definitely matured. Usually he commits 3 fouls in the first quarter. Sometimes he even fouls out in warm-up, you know. But he's learned how to pace his fouls. He's learned that sometimes you have to give the opposing players good points rather than commit a foul.
A minute and 19 seconds. 49 for Toyota, 42 for San Miguel Beer. Legaspi has 3 fouls, Quadless and King 2 apiece. Bilal has 1. Mike Saldana. Oh, he was long on the right side, getting the hit. Good pick by Twadless. Play broken now, but picked up very quickly by Lalota. Norman Black in a strong power follow-up.
You know, Pingoy, Emma Legaspi has been doing such a good job at harassing Marty Saldana. Now, Marty threw away that basketball because he was forced to set up his play from almost the half-court line. If you're a point guard, you have to get that ball to the top of the key before you're going to set up your team.
Now, Twadless moving closer, short. There's no foul. Called against Nick Blanc on that particular play. And Blanc gets his second personal foul. And since Toyota is over the limit, Norman Black goes to the circle. Scores 51 for Toyota, 44 for San Miguel Beer. 25 seconds left.
And these foul shots have definitely definitely the factor that has kept San Miguel in the ball game. They're going to the foul line. They're not doing so well from the free throw line. We saw Alex Penn miss 2 free throws, but it's helping them along.
5-point difference in the second quarter of play. 20 seconds left before the end of the first half. Coons knows the time. He advises his teammates. Here's Legaspi. Forced outside, 7 seconds. Twadless looks at the clock, 4 seconds. Saldana's in, goes up. And Blanc, before he could really follow up, the horn sounded. So at the end of the first 24 minutes of play, we find Toyota Super Corollas on top by 5 points, 51 versus 46 of San Miguel Beer. Before we go to Steve Copan on Inside Basketball, we'll be talking to you exactly how the dot sheet or the location sheet applies in this particular game. We turn you back to our studios.
And right beside me is our guest analyst for tonight. He has been a guest analyst before, and the fans really love to see him back. Welcome back, Freddie. Thanks a lot, Jim. Okay, Freddie, quickly now let's go over to the first 2 quarters. How did Toyota build up a 5-point lead, or they even went up by as much as 9 points?
Well, I think June, Quarter.mpg gambled again the second time around. He played his rookies well. So far, Enrique Legaspi has been the key man among the rookies. And he has taken another gamble at that by sagging a lot on the shaded area. If you'll notice, Black has had a hard time getting that ball close to the basket. Now, the problem is, in the second half, if Tommy Manoto's men, like Tan and Saldana and Lobo, will start to shoot outside, then we'll have to open up again. That will be the time for Black to receive the ball close to the basket. And this will be the time when I think the game would be very, very close. Right now, they're leading by 5 points. 5 points is still 5 points in any language.
That's right, because it only takes a point to win, right?
Right.
Now, let's go back to the kind of defense of Toyota. You say that the defense of Toyota is collapsing or sagging the shade, covering the shaded area. Very well. Right. They're giving Norman Black a hard time to penetrate, and at the same time they're giving open shots to the locals of San Miguel. But the local beermen have failed to capitalize on this, right?
Right. They have not connected at all. In fact, if you notice, I don't think Lobo even made a shot yet outside. And Tan has made one, and Saldana has been playing far below his usual average of game. I think he's made a lot of errors, and hopefully he hopes to come back in the second half.
All right. At this point in time, if you were the coach or if you were in the shoes of Tommy Manoto, well, as you said earlier, what instructions would you be giving your boys in order to come back? Firstly, you believe, of course, that San Miguel can make a comeback.
I think they will give a comeback, because this is a championship game, and I think it will be a very, very close fight. It could still go either ways. And I think what Tommy would do in the second half would be to tell his boys to take some outside shots and gamble on a miss or a follow-up by Norman Black. Secondly, Norman would have to be more aggressive on the boards, because I think if you would look at your statistics, I think Norman has had very, very few rebounds and very, very few follow-ups compared to his usual game.
And we could say that we could attribute this partial success of boxing out Norman Black to Abbey King, right?
Right. Very, very true, John, because you'll notice Abbey King has been playing him well. There was a psychic war going on earlier, if people would notice, and finally the referee had to cut in to stop this thing. But I think it should be allowed, because this is a basketball game. As long as you do not throw any punches, a psychic war is always good in a basketball game.
Well, if you were the coach, if you were in Edo Campos' shoes, would you also advise, psyching out, talking to this player, especially Norman Black, just to get him out of his tempo?
It's not really improper, but very few coaches would go to that extent, But in a championship game, I wouldn't blame Ed if he'd go to that extent. But right now, I think Ed has been playing his man very well. He has to be congratulated for this.
Well, yes, in a championship series like this, especially a final game, the end justifies the means, right?
Certainly.
Well, you heard Coach Freddie Webb on the halftime review of the first two quarters. He has given you what has happened, why Toyota led by 5 points, and what he thinks San Miguel should do in order to make a comeback. Well, we'll be seeing the two quarters in the second half in the next few minutes. In the meantime, we'll be turning you over to Steve Catan for Inside Basketball.
In Inside Basketball, we spoke about the